All right, so let me finish up. Sorry that last video was 13 minutes long, so sorry about that. I try not to make my videos longer than 8 minutes, but that one I just kind of got away. Okay, so a polymer is a large molecule that's formed when many small molecules, monomers, are linked together by covalent bonds. Monomers are linked together by covalent bonds. 54 gives some properties of rubber. They're made from hydrocarbons from petroleum. What are some properties of polyethylene? They're made from ethene or ethylene molecules linked head to tail. And on page 276, there's a picture of it. And remember, that's 56. What makes a polyethylene harder? The more carbon atoms in the chain. Remember, this goes from like something saran wrap, which doesn't have very many, and then you go to like milk bottles, which are pretty easily collapsible, and then you go to like the back of your desk or the bottom of the seat of your desk, which is a hard plastic, and that's how that does it. More carbons. 57. Which one of the polymers has both a synthetic and a natural polymer? That is rubber and silk. Rubber used to be made from, it still can be made from a rubber tree, and silk is made from the silkworm, but those can't keep up with the demand, and they've made it a little better too. Let's see, 58. What are 4 natural polymers? This is starches, cellulose, nucleic acids, and proteins. So 59, natural polymers are produced in both kinds of cells. It means animal and plant cells. Both animals and plants produce these polymers. What is a starch? It's made from glucose monomers that form starches. Okay, so glucose monomers get together and they make a starch or a carbohydrate. Same thing. Starch is a carbohydrate. Okay, actually, a sugar. A carbohydrate is actually made from a sugar, but starches are too. Starches are like, we think of a starch and food-wise is like potatoes or breads or something like that, which are made from glucose, which are carbs. What is a carb? It's a simple sugar, slightly more complex sugar such as sucrose, and polymers built from sugar monomers. So glucose are the monomers for starches. Okay, what's cellulose? It's the main component of cotton and wood, and it contains lots of glucose monomers. It gives the plant the strength, the plant stems and tree trunks. So like celery would be an example of cellulose. All those strands which make it really thick and like sturdy, and you have to bite into it and it's really crunchy. Cellulose, the monomers in cellulose are glucose. Glucose monomers make up cellulose. We got that from the plants, photosynthesis, right? What's a nucleic acid? A nucleic acid is, what's a nucleic acid? Is a large nitrogen-filled polymer made of many mainly in the nuclei of cells. What's a nucleotide? A nucleotide is monomers in a nucleic acid. And remember, there's 2 types of nucleic acid, RNA and DNA, okay, which are made of nucleotides. And then when they're put all together, they're called nucleic acid. So which one of the above is a polymer and a monomer? So nucleic acids are the polymers, RNA, DNA, and then they are made up of nucleotides, which are monomers. So what's an amino acid? It's a compound that contains both carboxyl and amine functional groups in the same molecule. So you have an amine group and an acid group, an amino acid. So what are the functional groups of to form an amino acid? It's the amine and the carboxyl. What's a protein? It's a polymer, and at least 100 amino acid monomers are linked together through bonds between an amino group and a carboxyl group. So amino acids link together, and they form a protein. So in regards to a protein, what's the polymer, what's the monomer? Proteins are the polymer, amino acids are the monomer. Amino acids come together to make a protein. What is photosynthesis? It's when plants chemically combine carbon dioxide and water and make carbohydrates and give off oxygen. What is cellular respiration? It's a process where glucose and oxygen are converted into water and carbon dioxide. 72, what's an enzyme? It's a protein that acts as a catalyst for reactions in cell. Remember, catalysts make things happen. What does an enzyme allow? It allows reactions to proceed faster at a much lower temperature than would normally happen. Remember, everything usually happens faster if it's at a higher temperature, but our body cannot be at a higher temperature, so we use enzymes. What's a vitamin? It's an organic compound that organisms need in small amounts but cannot produce. There are two types of vitamins, fat soluble and water soluble. The difference between the two is water soluble vitamins dissolve in the water in our cells and need to be replenished in our bodies daily, where fat soluble vitamins dissolve in the fat in our cells and they're stored in the fat cells, and so they don't need to be replenished every day. Which one can be dangerous if you get too high? Fat soluble, because they don't get used as quickly, they can be stored a little bit. And then what causes the levels to get high can build up over time in body tissues and become toxic. So, like if you OD'd, not really, but you know what I mean. If you take too many vitamins, like all those ones that they sell, like GNC and all that, most of those times we don't really need all those vitamins. They just become expensive pee that we just, it's just urine, expensive urine that we pee out. All right. So I'm going to have a talk on Tuesday where we can go over this and y'all can ask me questions in person on Teams. So get ready with your questions, and you can, of course, email me before, but we'll go and talk about it on our time. I can't remember what our time is, but, it's normal fourth period. Okay. Bye, y'all.